Oh my God! Oh, this is really fun! Ground! Whoa! I'm floating! I can fly! I was finishing up Annabelle Creation and got a call from New Line asking if I'd be interested in directing Shazam. And, you know, they were pitching it to me like it's like Big meets Superman or Big with superpowers. And to me, it was just like, yes. Like, I don't know what exactly they saw in me, having done 2 horror movies for them, but that sounded like the best idea in the world.
Everybody at New Line had such a great experience with David on Annabelle Creation, and he's a guy that was clearly ready to step up to that next level. And in the same way that James Wan had stepped up from Conjuring to Aquaman, it really made sense to take Sandberg from Annabelle to Shazam. David's a guy that's become known for his horror background. What people don't realize is he's got a tremendous background in comedy.
I think horror and comedy share a lot of similarities.
They're both visceral genres that need to jolt the audience and get them to react.
And that's what I like, that sort of idea of manipulating the audience and sort of playing them just right. The big challenge for me was just taking on a project of this size, because it's a bigger movie than I'd done before.
Both of us, it was our first experience on such a huge movie. This is like millions times bigger than anything I've done it before.
It is a pretty incredible jump to a, as Maxime, our DP, would say, major motion picture. Major motion picture. Major motion picture. This is a major motion picture. Cinema.
Cinema.
That was good. That was awesome. Yeah.
How was that, BJ? Was I waiting correctly? That was very nice. Fantastic.
In my previous movies, like Annabelle Creation, I could just show up and sort of improvise more on the day. Where here, you have to plan it out months in advance and to previs. At first, you know, I started doing little storyboards and little just drawings of things I imagined for the movie. But then, of course, we've got professional storyboard artists and previs people to make stuff that looks better than I could.
Previs. It is an immense key of communication with the rest of the crew.
And then we go down as they're going away.
It becomes real useful for the stunt guys, the special effects guys, the art department. What are we seeing? How much do they need to build? It really becomes kind of a playbook for every department.
Like, I did a little storyboard of like Billy walking towards camera. I'm turning into Shazam. And I was like, oh, this could be a cool trailer shot.
Shazam!
And sure enough, in that first trailer, that shot was in there.
Okay, all right, boys, let's do this. I actually had put myself on tape for another character. No, this ain't about genetics. It's about skill, agility, hard work. And Steph, what? He can shoot from 8, 9, 10 meters. How do you defend against that? Trick question. You can? I'm good. I just had a burrito for breakfast. I didn't know I was gonna be playing, so.
I saw the self-tapes that Zach sent in, and it was just right away, like, this guy could be Shazam.
Yeah, that's beans. That's some beans. And a little cilantro.
He just feels and looks like Shazam.
And Sandberg called me, it was over the weekend, and said, why is this guy not our Shazam? He auditioned for a much, much smaller role, the role of Adult Freddy. And we looked at it, he was like, hey, you can't just be Adult Freddy, he's gotta be Shazam.
No, it's the best decision you've ever made. You're not gonna regret this. I promise you, that's a guarantee right there. Just say. And they saw that tape, they said, actually, we think you could be our Shazam. And I said, oh, well, I think that could be pretty cool. And then I Skype auditioned to be Shazam.
You can't see me! I'm right here!
Where?
I'm right here! Right there.
Nice outfit, dipshit. I was testing invisibility and super intelligence at the same time, so
Yeah, well, Freeman, guess what? Now I get to kick your butt. Because you're a jerk and you're totally screwing around with me. And I'm a big person now. With big hands.
Yeah.
In 1 week, I went from auditioning for a completely different character to being Shazam, which has completely changed my life in all the most tremendous of ways.
Coming up. Okay. Come on! And up, and down, and up.
I've been at the gym 5 days a week, just pushing as much weight as I possibly can every single day, and eating 3,700 calories a day, like something stupid and insane. Which, by the way, I found out is on the low end of what, you know, like there's some guys that they eat like 6,000 calories a day. It doesn't seem possible. I feel like you'd just be chewing all day. It could be worse.
You have to see Zach before he was cast for this film. You see truly a superhero transformation.
You look great, bud. So do you.
Thanks, bud. I've been working out. The beautiful thing about it is that there's not a scene in the movie where I'm shirtless, so the pressure is off.
Of course, you know, the costume will have muscle in it as well.
Oh, there he is.
David wanted the costume to be true to the way that the character has looked in past comics.
It's a little boxy. I feel a little frumpy. It's if Shazam joined a nunnery.
We embrace the classic themes, the classic looks. From the historical Shazam costume, the red, the white cape, the boots, the thunderbolt.
I wanted him to have the short cape, which is a throwback to the old Shazam. But then he also has the hood of the newer Shazam.
You got a cape?
I got a cape. It's got a hood.
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I kind of look like a gangster superhero.
And then we came up with this Greek pattern in his suit as a callback to the origins of the mythological Greek gods, which is the source of his powers.
Love it.
I get to wear the spandex.
It does.
Which it has its pros and cons, you know.
I don't know. I don't even know how to pee in this thing.
You know, I've got these like zippers where I can go and take a #1, but if I gotta drop a deuce, I gotta take the whole suit off. Like, that's a lot, guys.
I mean, trying to get this thing dry cleaned is a pain in the ass, guys. I gotta go to my magic dry cleaner.
And so far, I'm not even kidding, I'm batting 1,000. I have yet to have to take my suit. Now, I gotta wear it for 10 hours straight. I've got solid bowels, y'all. I can hold this stuff in.
Yeah, I did.
So who's doing the heavy lifting? Huh? Really? My bowels are doing the heavy lifting.
Yeah, so you were like, wait.
Wait. We don't know if the suit is bulletproof or if you are.
And then,
Shoot him in the face.
Shoot him in the face.
Yes! Wait, what?
and then bang. It was our first day of shooting with Zach in the costume.
What am I doing? Go ahead.
And in the script, the convenience store started with them already looking at the beer. But I just want to have him ask for the beer and just have the cashier just take him in. Like, what is this guy? This time, don't look him up and down right away. Like, just for the first line, you just look up at him and you hold it there. Okay. Some of the best stuff comes out of improvising. Like when Zach turns to the robbers all seriously and just says, "You're dead."
It kind of tickles.
You're dead. You know, that was something Zach just did on set, and it was great.
We shot for 3 months of nights in Toronto in the winter.
Hey, Rabos.
It's cold.
It's brutal shooting nights. Canadian weather has not been kind to us.
It's not cold. It's not cold. It's not cold.
Cold, and cold. It's been a pure nightmare.
It was really cold. It was a whole new wardrobe cold. There's nothing you currently have in your wardrobe that you could wear in Canada in the winter.
We can take all this stuff off in post, right? Yeah, cool.
When you get to a place and they tell you to be careful of your electrical cables running to some of your gear because they'll snap because it's so cold. It's definitely a rude awakening to be in minus 21 degrees Celsius.
And stop. Everyone was like, well, you're Swedish. Like, you're used to it, right? Like, no.
Shazam 2 is going to be in the Bahamas, guys.
Yeah.
Daytime! Nighttime!
Shazam's emblem or icon is the big lightning bolt. It's sort of a signal almost of his magic. So we have it light up in the suit.
One of the biggest challenges for us was this lit piece in the chest, you know? We really wanted it to be a practical lighting piece so that we can see all the reflection on the body and the muscles and the face.
Chest lights?
We have a lot of things that light up in this film, and they do malfunction.
And 3, 2, 1, go!
Hyperspeed! Check!
No, it's cool. My suit's not working.
So you're shooting in the middle of the night, it's super cold, and all of a sudden the bolt stops working.
So, did it just turn off, or did you turn it down?
No, just all turned off.
We had producers kind of standing there going, what's going on? And our AD was like, oh, Leah, what's happening?
The wire could be somewhere in my back, it could be somewhere in my shoulder, it could be somewhere in my arm. I have no idea we can't find it until you take the whole suit off.
We weren't quite sure what had happened, something within the wiring, and we ended up having the electricians come in.
Our tech guys were just maestros of figuring out what little element had gone wrong.
Luckily, everything got worked out, and it's just been smooth sailing ever since.
That's crazy, right?
There's been times where it's like, why did we even do this? But then you get some of those cool shots where he's like coming out of smoke being revealed, and the first thing you see is that lightning bolt shining through, and it's like, okay, it was worth it.
That's great. And cut.
That bus is 24,000 pounds. We took all the weight we could out of it, and we took it from 24,000 to 18,000 pounds.
It was on this rig where the bus could tilt and it could go up and down.
So it comes down and then it goes up?
And then we can tip it straight up in the air and have all the stunt performers rigged to the bus.
We could actually put Zach underneath it and then raise it so it looks like he's actually taking it up.
3, 2, 1, action.
Oh! Oh! There we go! Come on!
Got a buzz in my head.
You saw that, right? You guys saw that. You saw what happened. That was amazing.
A hero is only as good as the villain. And if you haven't got a terrifying villain, then the stakes aren't high enough. So we just made him a heat-seeking, ballistic piece of evil.
And 3, 2, 1, go. From day one, Mark showed up. He was ready, he was prepared. He'd done everything we'd asked with his trainer in England.
We have these rigs called tuning forks. And I tried that just to know what I'm putting my actors through.
It's not so bad.
You need some core muscles, more than I have, to do it.
They scared the living daylights out of me, all the stunt guys saying, you gotta have a strong core, you gotta have a strong core. So I worked really hard to make sure I did.
Mark's core strength was beyond belief. He got in a tuning fork and mastered it within half hour.
Nice.
He was doing things that we'd practiced for months with other people.
And roll. And down.
It made our life a lot easier.
All right. So bonk, bonk, and then on the car, yeah.
Do the second punch with your left hand.
It won't look as good. I mean, I'll try.
Just try.
Let's see it, yeah. I always a bit limp with the, it's always,
Yeah.
I'll give it a try then. Yep.
Well, VFX and arm.
Okay. All righty.
We had a particular gag that Shazam was landing on the car on the windscreen. It had to be so precise. and a little bit of crosswind would have been enough just to blow him off course. So we made a judgment call right beforehand.
Okay, so we're going to move the car back 2 meters. His back literally broke my glass. Oh, wow.
It's so good. I've seen it from 5 different angles, twice in slow-mo. It's so good.
It actually, it went past.
Yeah? It was one and done, yeah? Yeah, well done.
It's not a set. It was a real functioning mall.
We really couldn't close the mall while we were doing all this, so it became quite a challenge to shoot all this crazy stuff. All the patrons were like, what are they doing?
3, 2, 1, go!
It's not like you're on a set where you can blue screen everything and just jump people around. They're really flying through the mall. And we put in this enormous toy store, which was really fun.
How's the rest of it go?
So after that, you get up, and you're like going through down here, and you're like, oh, a little groggy, so you know you can take some
Knocking
shit
just
down.
knocking stuff off.
Anything was fair game, you know, so you can pretty much throw anything you want.
Like literally throw Batman at him. I think that'd be fun.
I don't know if that's a good idea.
Why?
Yeah, sometimes I'm a bit unsure if it is gonna work. Like him throwing the Batman figure, I was at first like, is that too silly? But like, yeah, let's try it. Let's do it.
Get him, Batman!
That'll work. Yeah. And action!
Back up! Get away from me! Oh, come on, Batman, do something! Oh, so.
Okay.
We'll go in a day or 2 beforehand, rehearse it without the window there, because it had to be pinpoint accurate with him firing the charges on the window. Otherwise, you get a performer going in head first into a solid plate glass window. It comes down to 1/10 of a second, really.
The glass in all the windows was all painted, so I could actually be behind the glass and I could be directly in line, so I could see exactly where he was.
And on the day, 1 take.
Come on now.
Hey, young man. Whoa, 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 whoa! What are you, I'm in the middle of a show right now.
There was a scene I wrote where he was showing off his lightning powers, and Adam Schwagman in DC said, can you maybe have a song that he's shooting lightning to the beat of that song? And then I was like, oh, interesting. And they had the Rocky statue in Philadelphia. And then I was like, oh my God. And like when my wife was in the other room, and I was like, I just started performing like lightning from my hands. Just like that kind of mentality is what a kid would do.
When we were shooting the movie, it was like, well, we don't really have the money to take everyone to Philadelphia and do it there. So I had to shoot it like on a street corner in Toronto. But then when we showed the movie to the studio, they were like, yeah, that scene really needs to be in Philadelphia. So we got some extra money and we're able to actually go there and actually shot on the Rocky Steps. Today is Sunday, December 2nd, and we are in Philadelphia. We're on the iconic Rocky Steps. Just haven't been very fortunate with the weather. It's been raining. So we came all this way to Philadelphia to see like the big skyline in the background, and it's just a wall of fog.
You can't see downtown Philadelphia. So we had to go back and put the city back in. It's not shot on blue screen.
Right.
It means that you have to roto everybody that's in front of the camera.
You have trees in the middle, and so
And all of it's
all those
gone.
layers.
The original photography,
Yeah.
none of that stuff is there. So it's a
Yeah.
big reconstruction project.
The Rock of Eternity is our biggest and most elaborate set.
When you first come into the Rock of Eternity, you want that vastness. I wanted it to be as tall as I could possibly get it.
The set in some places is over 40 feet high, and the walls are over 100 feet long.
It's just incredible. And like when I walked into the Rock of Eternity, I thought I was actually here.
You do. You feel like you actually get transported into something magnificent. It's grand. You feel like you can get lost in it. You actually can get lost in it.
David really wanted the sins to be scary.
What we're seeing in the background here is the first of our deadly sins. This is wrath, and he's probably about 98% done. We have to kick one of these sculptures out every week and a half.
I'm so proud of them. They're so beautiful, like in an ugly way.
To see like how huge the statues are when you're standing in front of them. And it was just the awesomest I imagined.
Getting the sins right was certainly the hardest part of the VFX process.
David had some very loose ideas of what he wanted out of the characteristics of the creatures. But the animation team would work on developing the movement styles and coming up with a bit more personality for each of the characters.
Then we had to figure out them in their ethereal form. You could see it on the paper, but it's not something you could storyboard, it's not something you could previs, and it's really not something you could even do in a rough automatic.
You need the full assets done before you can even look at the effect and say, okay, well, now that I see it, I want it to do this or that.
It was just a lot more complicated than I imagined. Power of lightning is like a character in the movie.
We had two approaches. One was an instantaneous event. That should look like lightning that you would see in the sky. Shazam! But if it was sustained, like the playground scene, then he was more interested in the Tesla coil aesthetic.
Savannah is the opposite of Shazam. So he has this negative lightning, which is like black lightning, the evil version of lightning.
That's a hard thing to visualize. It's lightning that doesn't have light.
You read the script, black lightning, huh?
The concept sort of stemmed from how a black hole is surrounded by light accretion disk. So that's kind of the mental picture that we started with. This is something that doesn't have any light at all, yet you can see it surrounded by all of the hot gases.
The third act of this movie, epic, unforgettable, and the most difficult one.
The scope of the third act just kept getting bigger and bigger.
It was a surprise how much additional work we did in the very end of the schedule. When we started, it was a parade, then a parade became a carnival, and then a carnival became a fight in Philadelphia.
For us, that means we need to build all of Philadelphia in CG.
And you have weeks to do it in.
Because of our schedule, we had to deliver certain sequences while shooting, just so they would have enough time for the VFX. You really felt that sort of, well, pencils down, no matter what you're doing, just the movie needs to be done. There was not a lot of sleep during this movie, but it pays off in the end.
This is so crazy! Come on, we shut down Hollywood Boulevard.
I'm grateful that not only do we make something that's very fun, I think, and incredibly full of joy, but it has a ton of inspiration and power behind that.
As soon as you wrap one movie, it's like, oh, I learned so much. I have to go make another movie so I can apply all these things I've learned. And I think on Shazam, I probably learned the most. It's been 2 years since I started working on Shazam.
Let's try it one more time.
I love doing this, and I wouldn't mind doing more movies like this. But right now, it's like I kind of long to do a little horror movie or something. Just, you know, something that doesn't take 2 years.
Guys, we made a movie. Did we know that it would be super duper from the beginning? I mean, I felt pretty good about it.
There's nothing about the film that doesn't surpass what was on the page, and it was one hell of a good script.
Shazam! I've gotten to do some really cool things in my line of work. And to put on that suit, man, was just an incredibly humbling experience.
Today, I'm taking molds of my body so I can be a crocodile man for 30 seconds in the movie. During a production meeting, it was like, well, who's gonna play the crocodile man? And Peter was like, well, David should play the crocodile guy. And everyone was like, yeah, that's a great idea.
I feel like a piece of toast being buttered.
You know, I also had to be like this throughout the whole thing because that's how the crocodile head worked. It's loud because there's these motors to control like the mouth and the eyes so you don't hear anything.
David, can you see?
Huh?
Hey, we're set.
And action.
Yeah. You lost a tooth, buddy.
I'm glad I did it, but I don't want to do it again.
As much fun as Shazam has being Shazam, that's how much fun Zach Levi has playing Shazam. He's a big physical guy, 6'4" and broad-shouldered, but he was like a kid.
Maximum power!
Did we get you to do a 360 to see the cape?
No. He was really like a child trapped in an adult's body.
Go! He's a little boy.
Come to me, flames!
I mean, he's an adult, but he's a kid at heart.
Wait. I have an idea. I don't know what it is yet, but I'm gonna figure it out.
Okay.
He's perfect casting. I mean, I don't think he'd be cross with me for saying he is like a big kid.
Oh no!
He's so enthusiastic. And, you know, has all of that energy.
It's all good for the behind the scenes.
It's very good, yes.
I mean, I'm just embracing my excitedness.
Oh, wow.
This is the coolest job I've ever gotten in my life.
Super cool.
And that's true. And I just want to own that and just be happy and rejoice in that.
Look, Harry, it's like I'm running at an incredible speed.
He's the funniest person ever. He's like cool to work with. Like you're like, wow.
Yeah, guys, that was the one. Let's high five. Yeah.
Zach, so cool.
Yeah, he's so
amazing.
cool. He's so nice.
He dances.
He dances and he entertains us a lot.
That's really slapping the bass right there.
Slap the bass.
Slap at the bass.
And occasionally he farts. Occasionally. Just occasionally. It's electrifying. It charges your phone.
Good, great, grand, wonderful, dandy. Everybody on the bus.
I remember asking Zach, do you just wake up like, I'm Zachary Levi?
Hey, I remember syrup sandwiches and crime allowance.
He likes to have fun. He likes to dance. He likes to listen to music. He's the life of the party.
Hey! Are we ready to rock?
Zach walks around with a Bluetooth speaker, and the second camera stops,
and cut.
He has music playing immediately.
I get way too ready once you let me do the extras. Pull up on your block and break it down. We playing Tetris.
It's a brilliant thing because the beat gets in and it keeps the creative energies flowing.
Gotta hate them folk. My left stroke just went viral. Right stroke put a baby in the spiral.
You know, it's 2:30 in the morning, it's freezing, but now everybody's energy's up and we're cracking jokes.
It's a rare thing when you get to meet someone who knows who they are and knows almost like his purpose in life, like kind of what he wants to give out and share with the world.
I've always been a bit of a energy-filled type of a person. I just get to show up on set and be like, I get to do this? I get to fly around and fight bad guys? All right. I didn't know I was that strong. And then I was like, oh, that's up. I'm that strong. I've been working out for a while. Okay, bye. I didn't know much about Shazam. Growing up, Shazam wasn't really one of the superheroes that I knew.
The whole movie is taking from all over the very rich history of Shazam.
Shazam has had a lot of different characteristics over the years. He's been around a very long time. He's been incredibly popular.
Shazam was introduced as the original Captain Marvel back in the 40s, and he was this orphan kid, Billy Batson, and this ancient wizard bestowed upon him the magical powers to turn into a superhero.
Shazam?
And the cool thing was the extension of his power into these surrogate brothers and sisters.
Shazam!
And it became a family of superheroes because these characters had a magic to them and they had a tone to them that very few characters had. That was the reason, I think, why these comics rivaled the sales of even Superman in their heyday. The history of Shazam is long. The comic books were published in the 40s and 50s, and a little bit in the 70s. There was a comic book called Power Shazam by Jerry Ordway in the 90s, and he's had black and white serials. He's had TV shows where he's driving around in a Winnebago in the 70s. He had a cartoon series, and then I reintroduced the character with artist Gary Frank, and we did a new take on Shazam, which is a lot of what inspired the movie. Shazam survived decade after decade after decade because the character inherently has something special inside him.
Unlike a lot of other characters, like Superman, who is an alien from another planet, Shazam he's magic. I'm magic.
The mysteries of magic and the unpredictable nature of it is great, especially in the hands of a kid.
One of the unique aspects that his power comes from magic. You know, he's not like Superman, who's an alien, or Wonder Woman, who's this Amazonian. Like, it's magic.
His arch nemesis, Dr. Sivana, is legendary, going way, way, way back.
Dr. Sivana has been around since the 40s. In a way, he's like Shazam's Lex Luthor, but Sivana came before Lex Luthor. He's like the original kind of bad guy like that.
He has a middle name, you know. Bodog. Did you know that? Thaddeus Bodog Sivana. The original Sivana was in comic book #2 of Captain Marvel. But I then discovered that there was never a #1. So Sivana was there at the very beginning. In that incarnation, he was a thwarted scientist who was aggrieved that the world didn't appreciate him. But the Sivana that I play is based on Jeff Johns' new 52 incarnation, which is the much more frightening, muscular one.
Since Shazam and Sivana both possess magic, the only thing that can hurt them is each other. You can only fight magic with magic.
You follow the comics, the powers keep manifesting. So it's almost like kind of limitless. But baseline, the name Shazam actually is an acronym, S-H-A-Z-A-M, which stands for Solomon, Hercules, Atlas, Zeus, Achilles, and Mercury. The wisdom of Solomon, the strength of Hercules, the endurance of Atlas, the power of Zeus, the fighting abilities of Achilles, and the speed of Mercury. Which is just all me, really. It's amazing that I finally found a role that all of me could fit into. So those manifest in different ways. So for example, you know, super speed, super strength, and, you know, fighting abilities, flight, as it turns out. Yes. The ability to kind of wield lightning as well, I think, which is very much in tune with his Zeusitude, if I could be so bold as to call it Zeusitude, and I'm coining that phrase right now. And, you know, also a super suit. That's part of my super abilities, because it is magic. The suit is magic. It magically appears on, and then it magically comes off of me, which is convenient when I need to go to the bathroom.
Everyone has their iconic superhero costume, and Shazam's is no exception. It's this great red costume with gold boots and this lightning bolt on his chest and this white cape. The fun thing is that Billy doesn't get to choose his costume. It's just on him, and he can't remove it. You know, it's just, that's what it is. And so he didn't design it, and the other members of the Shazam family didn't design theirs either, but they suit their personalities.
Shazam is honestly like one of very few superhero characters that is genuinely stoked to be a superhero.
I can fly!
More often than not, you've got a character who is begrudgingly pulled into this thing, and you know, and they have these powers and everybody needs them, and they're like, oh, I have to save the world again. No, you know. Billy Batson is stoked. He's so excited.
Oh, hey, what's up? I'm a superhero.
We're staying true to the tone of the character. He's always been a little bit lighter, a little bit more fun, and a little bit more family-centric than any other DC superhero out there.
Baked into the DNA of it is the humor and the heart that a lot of other superheroes have to manufacture oftentimes, because it wasn't just built into it when the comic was created or when the character was created. And Billy's just stepping in this world, and you get to see that heart, and I just love it, man.
The carnival, which is our climax, was huge. It's bananas.
There's a lot of pieces. There's a lot of stuff going on at that carnival.
We have 5 locked-off cameras for this stunt.
I'm used to doing things smaller and being like, okay, what's the sort of low-budget, nifty solution to doing this? But one of the producers told me, like, I don't usually say this, but you should go big.
Fully locked up, everybody. Here we go. Pictures up.
So, yeah, we went kind of big.
Okay, so we're set. All right, and action.
Almost too big, because there was like, okay, maybe scale it back a little bit.
And throw him down. And then I make a really cool landing.
That's the shot we're doing now,
Right.
yeah. So you land, and you were like, let's try
that again. And then I start walking, I look over at Freddie like, huh? And he's like, no. Oh, come on, really?
Yeah, and then he's like, look out.
There's a tremendous amount of action that takes place within that carnival set. So it was really important having a guy like Kyle, with whom we had just worked on Aquaman, to be there to create these amazing action set pieces and to prepare the actors for the action that they were going to do and the stunts that they were going to do.
Yeah, I think the carnival set's been nothing but a challenge.
All right, let's take it up and we're gonna shoot one.
Everyone realized we needed something a little bit bigger than the original script intended, and it grew and grew. It literally doubled our wire work.
Guys, I'm a superhero. Come on.
We went from about 48 sort of wire gags throughout the film, and we suddenly developed 60 just at the carnival alone.
Or try that again.
3, 2, 1, roll.
Mark and Zach did the whole aerial battle in a controlled environment on a soundstage.
One thing I learned is that the more spectacular something is on screen, the more boring it probably was to shoot. You know, like people flying, you know, they have to be rigged into these weird contraptions, and you have to rehearse and rehearse and rehearse. It pays off in the end.
Oh, dear me.
It's just a challenge to get there.
In order to do mid-air fighting, they've developed this thing called a tuning fork, but it means you can rock backwards and forwards, side to side. You can barrel roll as well.
Mark picks up choreography really quick.
Well done, guys. I felt like my flipping was really nice. That's right.
Yeah.
Zach's the same. So when you have 2 committed actors like that, it's fantastic.
Let's roll cameras, please. Here we go, guys.
Ken Griffin's my fight choreographer, and his guys, they've really stepped up.
Jen, we can do it just this side, right? Yeah. Boom, boom, boom. There we go.
A lot of our guys have had to wear suits and big foam packs that wardrobe department on this made for us, just to give us a sense of area and space.
And kill the little girl. Yeah, you're trying to fight back and twist your head around, because he's like, ugh.
A big challenge was the sins. On the day, we had stunt guys in these weird suits holding on to them. But whenever sins interact with people, we had to basically make digidoubles of their bodies. Because just to make someone look like they're actually grabbing someone, you have to replace almost everything. I had this idea of Shazam flying towards a sin, but the sin turns to smoke, so he just goes straight through, and then the sin grabs him and throws him. You know, right from the start, I was like, oh yes, that's something that I want to do.
There's a pantomime version of Zach inside the tuning fork rig being puppeteered by the stunt guys, going through all of those motions so that we can capture his physical performance as well as his facial performance. And then we marry that up with a CG creature.
This show was tricky because you had the 7 sins, so you have a lot of different creatures.
We have a 4-armed creature. So basically it's 2 of my guys, you know, and one fighting behind the other. So it works really well. But it was fun watching him deal with, 2 pool noodles, 2 real hands, 1 guy at the back, people spinning, and, always leads to a bit of comedy relief.
Hi there.
What's up?
How are you?
Yeah, I'm good.
Ready for this?
Oh, yeah. It's gonna be fun, eh?
The kids have been fantastic. We've had them on wires. They've up for anything.
Harness feels comfy?
Nice. We had Darla and Eugene being picked up.
Let's just take him up, give him a little hang test so he can feel his harness. Going up. Yep, that's high enough. How's that feel?
Good.
Feel like the other day?
Yeah.
And they did a fantastic job. They really did.
Right there, thank you.
And it's exciting to see their smiles on the faces when they come down.
Yay! I love it.
I have a 7-year-old boy at home, and I know he'd love to do that sort of stuff as well.
Super.
It's the most fun thing in the world that I've done.
Walking from over here and heading over to where Raph is. Yeah. But when you're at this point, you hear Freddie say a thing about he's figuring out that the eye is the power. So you stop, turn to the kids, and say, like, gather the mugs. Yeah. And then after that is when the sins come out.
Scared? You will be.
When you come to work and you've got sets like this, you don't have to use your imagination. In a film in which, there is a lot of blue screen and CGI, these kind of movies involve a lot of that. It's wonderful to have sets that do the work for you. It's been, amazing.
We rented all the rides, but then all the huts that are blown up are all made by us.
It is pretty incredible how much of a legitimate carnival that they've built in this big open lot. We literally blew up a Ferris wheel, guys. It was an actual Ferris wheel, and they just dropped it on its side. It was insane.
Part of the end climax of the movie is the Ferris wheel coming down. When we first showed up, everyone said, okay, we're gonna drop a Ferris wheel on this, and don't worry, we'll do it visual effects. And I was like, no, you won't. Because that's the kind of stuff I do these big movies for. We bought a Ferris wheel from an old amusement park. We took all those parts and brought them back here, and we essentially re-engineered 80% of it. It's a Ferris wheel, which seems like something that's in every amusement park, but it's supported from one side. And then it needed to be safe enough to have it operate as fast as a Ferris wheel will go, and then tip to 30 degrees with people in it.
Oh my gosh, those people!
We had to measure out where this thing was gonna fall and then put some marks on the ground so that we knew where the wheel was gonna come to. And the cameras are all getting set to a cone you put on the ground. It's pretty stressful. Trying to get a thing like that that's 60 feet tall, that is hinged on a pivot that actually releases halfway down, and then it starts pivoting from another axis, and whether or not it's gonna bounce a little bit or whether it's just gonna stop where it is. Trying to figure out exactly where that's gonna be, it was pretty fun. We're actually pretty happy with the spot we picked because it landed probably about 3 inches from where we thought it was gonna land in the first place.
Even though we did all these big things, destroy a big Ferris wheel, that's gonna be awesome.
Yeah.
The best part of making the carnival was just those emotional scenes because it's all about the performance. And action.
Shazam!
Think you can do that one more time? Yeah. But once your head comes up, you can take a second or so to just to catch your breath and then say Shazam.
Okay.
Just help you with this. Oh, yeah, that's awesome. Let's do that. Okay?
Something that seems simple, like Savannah pushing Billy's head into the ice water. That was an extremely difficult stunt.
You okay, yeah?
Yep.
We're good.
And, you know, Asher did such a great job.
The Carnival was millions times bigger than anything I've done before. It's extremely complicated because myself and David, we had frame by frame on huge boards, not one, not two, 10, 15 boards of what we have to follow. So this is the only way to keep track, shot by shot. But light-wise, fantastic, full of colors. Then when the family becomes the Shazam family, you have superheroes flying everywhere, up and down.
Yes! Blue is my favorite color, and I can fly.
The whole film, we've sort of seen him fumble and try to understand what he's capable of and harness that power.
If a superhero can't save his family, he's not much of a hero.
And we get to a point now where he finally understands his powers and he's finally got control of them.
Shazam!
All right, this is it. Mano a mano. Away we go.
All right, we did it! Hey, you guys are all safe. There's no more danger anymore.
All hands on deck. The Shazamily is Billy and all the other kids in the foster home,
yeah.
and anyone who feels included in that love.
Ready? 1, 2, 3.
We all have superpowers and stuff, so like, we put Shazam and family together.
From a casting standpoint, I think that it all starts there. They're trying to find two people that have a similar enough essence.
How's it feel for you, Ash?
Feels great. I'm just happy to be working with you, kind of. I mean, kind of. But he's a goofball. I feel like he's like an older me, and he's like, as I said, a brother. So I love him. I love you, brother.
Goofballs. Goofballs for life. We're just more fun, really.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, because we're 14. Come on.
Come on, 14.
Yeah.
No, like really, 14.
No, for real.
Yeah, for real.
When I found out that Grace was playing Mary, I was like, oh, yes. She's gorgeous. I'm like, I'll play her older part, absolutely. And we're really similar. Like, our mannerisms are the same. Our personalities are similar.
Michelle and I talked about how when she gets her powers, it's this moment of going, this is so much fun, okay.
How does it feel to be beat up by a girl? I am a little bummed that the boys got all these muscles and made them look so amazing, like they've been working out. But I got nothing. And the irony of it is that all the guys are working their butts out at the gym every day. So you're never gonna see it. And I am not.
Yeah, you have Jack, who's this ball of energy. For me, it's relaxing because I'm like, all right, I'll just watch Jack. I don't have to turn on my television. I'll just...
No, we don't even need to talk.
Just, Jack, entertain me.
Got it.
He's super funny, he's super sharp. I'm sure in 20 years, I'm gonna be like, I played him one day. Do you remember me? Jack.
I'd like to hang out with Adam Brody more. We share the same mannerisms, and when he's on set, he's like the perfect Jack Grazer Freddy. And I'm like, that's awesome.
His eyeball! What? Get his eye! Rip that sucker! I heard you the first time!
DJ, he's a really cool guy. I'm happy with my counterpart because he's really handsome, just like me. He's pretty much nailing what I was going for. He understands the kid version, like what I do.
We talked about the degrees of how much he's going to lean into playing the insecurity on his end, and then how big that transition may be at times.
Check out these guns.
Eugene is a video gamer.
big time. Me in real life, I'm a big gamer, so I relate with that. But I'm like trying to rewind back to how I was a gamer at 10 and then turning into a superhero.
Ross, he's a really cool guy to work with. We talked about how we would like keep the Eugene as the same and how like Eugene would like react to being a superhero.
Hadouken!
It is super cool. Yeah, she turns into a doll and she has the ability to speed.
Hyperspeed! Check!
She said, I did keep the curly hair and the short hair for you. I'm like, well, that's so sweet of you.
The thing that I really love about Darla is that she's a lot like me at that age and kind of how I am now, where she believes the best in everything. She just has like a positive attitude, but she's also a little bit like awkward. And I think that's like the fun thing about playing her older is because I'm a grown woman, but I'm still kind of awkward playing like a 9-year-old. Guys, I don't believe in violence, but I think we should kick this guy's butt like really hard. She is such a lover, and I love lovers, and I love people, and I love things and puppies and cats, and I love them, and I love this set. I love this movie. I love love. I love glitter.
I have to say that hanging out has really made us have like almost like a family, you know, it's bonding and stuff.
We had a really cool sleepover, remember that?
Oh, yeah. They didn't go to bed. What time did you guys go to bed? It's
We
like,
went to bed at like 5 or 6.
yeah.
You guys are ridiculous.
Hanging out with all of the kids on set is awesome. We all just hung out yesterday. Yeah, we went to an escape room together, and then we had some dinner after that. And we've gone bowling together and had various excursions. And we saw Ready Player One as a whole, like all the kids from the cast. We all got to go treat them to that.
We all take care of each other, and so we're like real family and stuff.
They're just good kids, and we're all in it to win it.
Would you guys like to do your secret handshake?
Yes. That's my favorite part.
That's it.
I love it.
There's also a spin, but you have to be standing and mobile, and it's... Stay tuned. Shazam 2, you'll see that.
Look, this was all just a big misunderstanding. It's not even my fault, really. It was mostly Batman's idea.
Batman organized an unsanctioned field trip for 6 of our students?
Totally. I was just doing what he told me.
I'm sorry, how did all this even happen?
I mean, I wasn't there at the beginning, obviously, but I assume the 6 students in question were all attending their individual classes, probably listening super close to their teachers and taking incredibly detailed notes. And in the middle of those classes, I can only assume they all got a text from Superman. About an important, can't miss academic opportunity.
Hold up, Superman. I thought Batman planned this.
Ooh, right. I forgot. He did. But then Batman got really sick. Did I not say that? Yeah, he got like super sick. He was like puking and stuff. And then Superman finished the plan by texting him.
Superman has these kids' phone numbers.
Yeah, well, no, I mean, it's like a robo-texting thing, you know? Because, like, all the kids on the field trip were randomly selected from a pool of promising bright minds, like leaders of Philly's future type of stuff.
Uh-huh. And where was this field trip to?
Oh, we just went to a museum. No big deal. Super boring. There was a special exhibit happening. Honestly, it was pretty basic field trip stuff, you know, like met some nice people and took in some culture. art serves a real purpose. Art can have a real impact on people, you know? And I also think we learned a little something about ourselves. Oh, crap. So, apologies again, right, on both Batman and Superman's behalf for them organizing what was clearly an off-the-books covert field trip. But on the flip side, what a cultural awakening. Right, kids?
Is that a Picasso?
Darla, I think you need to take that back.
Also, 6 of our students went missing. This is only 5. Where is Billy Batson?
Oh, Billy, right, that other kid. No, he told me to tell you that he's on his way. Actually, is that him I hear outside? Is someone out there? Other kid? Oh, hey, look, it's that child Batman texted. I mean, Superman Shazam.